You're fighting Canelo, you need blood drawn. You need everything in your body. Every layer of enzyme that you have has to be measured.
If you with me, so it's gonna be different.
They need to understand how your oxygen is distributed by measuring your VO2, things like that. You can't do that at no gym. You can't do that at Crunch Fitness. You can't do that at LA Fitness. You got to be at a place, an institute that actually is focusing on performance training. It's not a game. This is professionals. These people got degrees, doctorates, and this is where when I see that, I see a guy on the buddy system. My boy is a personal trainer. Exactly. He trains people personally. The responsibility of a guy who's a trainer at a gym is to work with people and younger type athletes, and at the most younger collegiate athletes. When you get to a place where you're focusing on working with people who are going to the next level, making millions of dollars, then you have to understand they have to build an ecosystem of the kind of professionals that they need. If your trainer does not surround himself with someone who has a needle, someone who has swabs, someone who understands dieting, nutrition, science. If there are no blood being taken, no EKGs being put on a calendar for you to do, then you are not with the right person. Those people are to work with people paying them $75 to $100 an hour. When you're going to someone who's actually in sports science, when you're fighting Canelo, you need blood drawn. You need all of your everything in your body, every layer of enzyme that you have has to be measured. They need to understand how your oxygen is distributed by measuring your VO2, things like that. You can't do that at no gym. You can't do that at Crunch Fitness. You can't do that at LA Fitness. You got to be at a place, an institute that actually is focusing on performance training. It's not a game. This is professionals. These people got degrees, doctorates, and this is where when I see that, I see a guy on the buddy system. My boy is a personal trainer. Exactly. He trains people personally. When you're talking about professional sports, you need someone who's in sports science, sports performance. If you're not even mentioning guys like Mackie Shieldstone, don't even talk to me. You don't know anything about getting in shape for a professional sport. These guys truly don't understand that. And when I see people cutting corners with who they pay because they just think they can get it the old school way, the buddy system, you deserve to lose your fight. I studied the guys that I'm mentioning when I was like 13, 14. So let me say that was 42 years ago. So immersed in this shit. So when it comes down to it, when I see it, it bothers me because I know these guys are being depleted the more they train because they don't understand what to put back. Hence is why Chris Algieri, when he took over Daniel Jacobs' career as his nutritionist, because he has a master's degree, when he did that, Daniel Jacobs couldn't figure. He's like, I ate breakfast this morning before the weigh-in. Like I ain't done that in my life because he doesn't understand. And neither does a regular personal trainer at a gym. I don't care if it's these individual little boutique gyms. That's not what it looks like. You got cats coming in with lab coats. So that's my world. So when I see cats trying to impede on it and take shortcuts, you're going to lose because the only thing you're doing in camp is depleting all of those gifts that you were gifted with. Because you don't understand how to replenish it. You don't understand any of your levels. I never seen anybody stick tank. I never seen no one come with swab. I never seen him on a Dynamap getting his heart or EKGs. I never seen no measurements happening. And I'm looking at this dude. You're making upwards of $20 million, $15 million of this fight, and you can't even pay a dude to manage your performance.
I had to get away from weights myself.
Yeah.
everything. And I wouldn't advise anyone to be in any major weights in boxing. But you need to have some resistance. Like for instance, like you need to wear heavy gloves. You know what I'm saying? Like back in my day, they used to even put small weights on the tail ends of the gloves to where it don't seem like nothing. But then after you're punching or doing bags or doing mitts for like 15 rounds, all of a sudden that it feels like it's a 30-pound weight. Then you might do that for a week, and then the next week now you're taking those weights off, and now you're fluent and you're fast, but everything is with snap. It also depends on how you control your feet,
and that is what you got to do when you guys are learning how to get stronger. But I advise when you do something, when you're talking about even barbell training, don't underestimate what it takes, because I was just having a conversation with a compadre about, let's just say we go to NFL and we're talking about people like Tyreek Hill, who's a tremendous athlete, but at the same time, you are at the peak of your career. The only space for you to go now is down. Like when you're looking at Canelo, he's not going to improve his speed and power and endurance. He has to get smarter. And so this is where you start focusing on the calculus of your training. This is where it gets away from your natural abilities and all of your gifts and talents. And then you have to do what you call optimize things. This is where sports science come in. So more or less is what you were depending on before. A guy like a Tyreek Hill has to focus on now, not just having the natural ability of a hybrid, but in a system, train outside of his football training to develop things that he never had before. And therefore, he won't lose his explosiveness. He will only gain more explosiveness that he's never had, like doing universal footwork drills in training and reaction drills in football in boxing. Those reaction drills in boxing only fire up new neurons. So when you're looking at a guy like that who's at the peak of his career and the only place for him to go now is down, guys are catching him. He wants to get that big contract once again. He'll probably have one more contract after this. You want to fire it up. And in order to get there, you got to start intermittent training these things. And this is where you cross over and develop what we call the hybrid athlete.